May 23rd, Solana full moon. Sol could be poised for growth. Well, good morning, good evening, crypto astronauts, depending on where you're tuning in from in this beautiful world, and welcome back to the Solana paradise. If you're new here, I do technical analysis and run an astrology birth chart for Solana and see if the current astrology patterns correlate with the technical analysis. Please subscribe as I put out these high-value videos for free every single week. It's oftentimes daily. None of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Solana chart today. I'm going to have to get through this video. It is really hot where I am right now. I'm on this little island called Gili off the coast of Bali. And let me know how the internet connection is. Hopefully we are good today. So we are going to look at the Solana price action, and then we're going to dive into the astrology. That's what we do on this channel. So far, Solana is holding up pretty well, especially compared to other altcoins. If we run our 50% level here from the peak to the bottom here, we're sitting pretty above this 50% level for the short term. So that's looking good. But if we zoom out here, we are still below the 50% level from the all-time high this year, which actually is not the all-time high. I could say the peak of this year to down here, the bottom. We're still sitting below this green line here. So we are for the long term, we're in a little bit of a weak position still, but we are heading up quickly. So that's looking good. If we compare it to a chart like Render's above that 50% level. So Solana is a little bit weak compared to Render. We'll see what happens. I'm not giving any financial advice to buy Render or anything like that, but just to compare it. Okay. And now let's look at the weekly. And, you know, we're bouncing above this trend line here, so that's a bit bullish. I mean, it's looking strong this week. It's looking pretty strong, but we definitely want to get above this 50% level at 164. If we do not get above that level, you know, we could be heading back down. We'll see. To once again test the bottom here, which is around 118. Okay, let's look at the monthly. You know, we got a major dump obviously in April, and we're trying to head back up. But one thing that's really interesting and a little bit scary is now I'm looking at the 2-month. The 2-month chart. And let's zoom in a bit here. Let's pull this up. Now, there's been some talk about the gravestone dogee. And that's what this is right here, potentially. When we get a major pump up, but that pump just turns out to be a wick. And what that means, let me clean this up a little bit, is that the price action from the months of March, April, you know, obviously in March it went way up, but then there was a ton of selling action, and they sold all the way down to about the same place that it opened on the 2-month chart. So this gravestone dogee closed around 127, and that could mean, I repeat, it could mean that smart money was selling all the way from the peak here above 200 all the way down to 127. So that's a bit concerning. Not guaranteed. It could foreshadow that there could be more downside in the long term over the next 3 to 6 months. So, very interesting there. I don't mean to burst anyone's bubble, but a little bit of caution looking at that. potentially a lot of caution. Okay, now let's talk about the astrology. Man, I am sweating. It is hot over here. So, one thing that's interesting is I have two Solana charts now. I have the Solana chart where the Genesis block was on April 9th, 2020. But then I have another chart where it was at March 16, 2020. So, if there's any Solana experts to double check that, which do you think is more accurate, the March 16th, 2020 or Solana chart for April 9, 2020? Basically, when the exact Genesis block happened. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So for now, I'm doing both of them just to make sure that we're getting the most accuracy. We're going to take a look at both. Now, one thing that's interesting in the overall astrology, where the planets are in the sky right now, is that we are heading up into a full moon, and we are going to get that in about 13 days from now. And this is overall quite good energy, this full moon. And we're also going to get Venus conjuncting Jupiter, which is potentially bullish. It hasn't been always bullish historically, but it could be bullish. I mean, in general, Venus is the planet of money, and Jupiter is expanding that. So, you know, it's good energy. It's a very good potential energy for this full moon. And typically on full moons, we can get pumps. Not every time, but we can. So, wanted to take a look at the Solana astrology, what's happening on that day of the full moon, when we're getting positive energy. What's happening is we are getting a bit of a positive transit there. And then shortly after, with this particular Solana chart, April 9, 2020, we get Jupiter trine the Solana Saturn, which is extremely bullish. And then another extremely bullish transit heading into June 14th, Uranus, the planet of crypto, trining Pluto, the planet of wealth. Super bullish. We do get a bit of a negative transit at the end of May, heading into June, to keep in mind. But then we also get another extremely bullish transit, Uranus trining the Solana Jupiter through June. So that's looking good overall. The caveat is if we look at the other Solana chart, let me know in the comments, all you Solana enthusiasts, about the accuracy of the March 16th Genesis block 2020 for Solana. Because what we're seeing with this chart is a bit more bearish. As on the exact day of the full moon, we're getting Neptune squaring the MC, which could signify, it's not too negative, but it could signify a change in direction for Solana. I don't necessarily know what exactly that would mean. But not necessarily the most positive transit. And then we're already getting negative astrology starting May 14th, heading into an exact hit on May 30th, which is not good. Saturn conjuncting the Solana Neptune. But potentially, possible, we do get an extremely bullish Jupiter trining the Solana Saturn on the day of that full moon on this chart. And we're also getting Uranus, the planet of crypto, trining Pluto, the planet of wealth, on June 8th. We do get a little negative here on May 26th. So, with that being said, overall, if we take into account both of these Solana charts, it does look like we're getting more positive transits than negative. So, if these positive transits, I mean, these are super bullish transits, the positive ones. If these outweigh the negative, then we could be off to the races for Solana for the next month or so. So that would be the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that this negative transit is so negative that it takes over. That's a bit less likely. As I said, we're getting less negative transits than positive. But that of course depends on the accuracy of the Genesis block. You know, is it more accurate to say or April 9th? So let me know in the comments what you guys find. Let's make this a team effort, shall we? All right, what else can I cover today? You know, in a way, the astrology is a little bit similar to Bitcoin for this summer because we are seeing some negative astrology for Bitcoin. Going into a lot more detail on the summer astrology for Bitcoin and Solana and even Render and some of your favorite altcoins such as Cardano, ICP. And you can make requests as well, and I can do my best to take a look at your requested altcoins. But that is in my private Crypto Astro Mastermind. And if you'd like to join that, I'm giving an incredible deal for lifetime access, just one payment, and you're in. That means you get access to the entire Crypto Astro Mastermind. You get a monthly call with me, group call, every single month throughout this entire bull run. So if you want that, go to my YouTube page and click the link there, and you can sign up right away, and you get instant access. I'm going to have a call coming up very soon this month where I'm going to cover the Bitcoin astrology for this summer in particular, and you're not going to want to miss it. It could make the difference between you being successful through this summer or losing, possibly in a big way. But that's not what we want to happen, so we're going to make the best of it. Okay. What else can we take a look at for Solana? Gravestone dogee is concerning. We're also seeing it on other charts. We're seeing that gravestone dogee where it pumped all the way up here, and then potentially smart money was selling all the way down to $7.59 for Render. We also saw it on the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to be talking about that in my next video. All right, looks like technology. Let's see what we have, who we have in the comments here. Come on, technology. Is a way up right now since May 1st. Lots of talk about squeezes on X. Any thoughts? I don't know. I don't have thoughts about that, but you know, smart money was selling. Look at Jeff Bezos. We look at Zuckerberg. Those guys were selling the past couple months. So there is a possibility that smart money was selling. So that's definitely. All right, we're getting some other comments. Your predictions are so accurate, and I'm Indian. Your translation give below in English. Okay, so you want a translation. I don't know how to put a translation in the description box, but whoever knows. I don't have gold predictions because, yeah, I don't look that much into gold right now. I don't think we have time for that. It doesn't look like the technology is working super well right now, so we might have to close this video up. But it's like analysis. I also look at the astrology, and I'm also going to be coming out with an ebook very soon. Get for free how I discovered crypto astrology, how accurate it has been, and how you guys can learn the basics of it. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. I also have a very exciting announcement coming up on Sunday here. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. So stay tuned, subscribe. I'll be coming out with more videos very, very soon. So I will see you rest of your day. Peace.